You've probably had relationships that suddenly turned cold, right? Have you ever wondered if it's because of a few bad habits? Imagine this. You work hard, but still lose respect from your colleagues and friends. Maybe you're doing something without even realizing it. In today's video, we're going to explore 4 habits that seem harmless, but could actually be destroying all your relationships. Are you ready to face the truth? Welcome to Wisdom Daily. Today, we'll dive into these habits and how to change them immediately, helping you regain respect and build better relationships. Habit 1. Gossiping. When you gossip, you not only break trust, but also make others feel unsafe when interacting with you. Let's pause for a moment and think about the last time you were involved in a conversation where everyone shared something about other people. Did you feel a thrill when you learned a secret from someone, or was it just a funny story about one of your friends? Surely, from time to time, we all have those moments where we gossip with our friends. But have you ever wondered, could these stories be harming the people you're talking about? And moreover, could you be unintentionally losing someone's trust without even realizing it? One personal experience I want to share today is a valuable lesson I learned from gossiping. It happened when I was in college. My friends and I would often sit together and share everything from funny stories to new things happening in our lives, and even small secrets each of us kept. There was one time when a girl in our group, Emily, who was quite quiet, reserved, and sometimes not the easiest to fit in, caught my attention. One day, I found out something quite personal about her. She had a crush on a guy whom everyone in the group considered out of her league. Instead of keeping it to myself, I shared it with my friends, just for fun. And then the story spread, not just within our group but to others as well. The next day, Emily found out that her personal feelings had become the topic of discussion for the whole group. I clearly remember the disappointed look on her face when she realized her personal emotions had been turned into a joke. She stopped hanging out with us, and eventually she left the group altogether. At that moment, I didn't think much of it, but in hindsight, I felt deeply regretful. I had broken a trust not just hers, but my own as well. When you share someone else's personal details, you're not just harming them, you're building a wall between yourself and others around you. The big lesson: respecting others' privacy is the most important thing when building lasting relationships. We need to understand that everyone has their own stories and the right to keep certain things private. When you gossip, whether unintentionally or on purpose, you're poisoning the well of trust. To build a respectful environment, we need to learn to stay silent and speak only when it's truly necessary. Don't let gossip become a habit that makes you an unreliable person in the eyes of others. By remaining silent and knowing when to speak, you'll not only protect others' privacy, but also elevate your own value in relationships. Habit 2. Being unreliable. Breaking trust doesn't just ruin relationships, it also causes you to lose the respect of others. I think we've all been in this situation before. You promise someone you'll attend an important event, but then you end up disappointing them by not keeping your word. This is a habit that not everyone immediately recognizes, but it can seriously damage the respect others have for you. I want to share a personal story that happened when I was in my early 20s, a time when I didn't fully understand the importance of reliability. One time, I had a close friend named Sarah, and she was hosting a birthday party. Sarah had planned everything carefully and had put a lot of effort into preparing for the event. She was really looking forward to my presence. I promised her I would attend, but on the day of the party, an unexpected situation came up, and I decided not to go. I thought a quick phone call and an explanation afterward would be enough. But when I called Sarah, I could hear the deep disappointment in her voice, and I knew I had hurt her. She didn't say much, but I could feel her disappointment through her tone. From that moment, our relationship was never quite the same. Although we still saw each other, the atmosphere was different. Sarah gradually stopped inviting me to important events, and we slowly drifted apart. I realized that not keeping a promise, even if it was a small matter, could lead to the loss of important relationships in life. The big lesson: a promise is a commitment, and if you don't fulfill it, you not only lose the trust of others, but also diminish your own integrity. Inconsistency and not following through on promises are major reasons why people lose respect for you. If you say you will do something, make sure you can actually do it before making the promise. Reliability isn't just about showing up on time or doing what you said. It's about maintaining consistency in your actions. When you learn to honor your commitments, you will earn the respect of those around you. Don't let promises become a forgotten habit. Act in line with your commitments, and you will build strong, trustworthy relationships. Habit 3. Interrupting others. Interrupting during a conversation doesn't just show a lack of respect, it can also hurt the other person's feelings, making them feel unheard. You've probably experienced this situation before. You're having a conversation with someone, and before you can finish your sentence, the other person jumps in and cuts you off. It may only happen once, but if it becomes a habit, it can create a sense of disrespect and being ignored. Have you ever wondered if you might be unknowingly doing this yourself? I want to share a personal experience from my work life. I worked at a large company, and we had weekly meetings to discuss project progress. I always wanted to showcase my ideas quickly because I thought the more I spoke, the more attention I would get. One day, during an important meeting, a colleague was sharing an issue in our project, but I couldn't wait my turn. I quickly interrupted him to voice my opinion. I thought I was making the conversation more dynamic, but shortly afterward, I received criticism from my manager. Don't interrupt others. We need to listen before we speak and give people the space to finish their thoughts. At that moment, I felt really uncomfortable, as I didn't realize that my action was making others feel frustrated. But later, I understood that interrupting wasn't just a rude action. It also made the other person feel that their opinion wasn't valued. The big lesson: active listening and patience are two of the most important skills in communication. When you interrupt others, you're not just being disrespectful, but you also create a wall between you and them in the relationship. In fact, by allowing others to finish their thoughts before you speak, you not only make the conversation more complete, but also show that you respect their opinions. Focus on listening not just to counter or argue, but truly to understand. This will help you build strong relationships and make others feel respected and heard. So, make space for others to speak, and don't rush to voice your thoughts. A good conversation needs not only a speaker, but also a listener. Habit 4. Complaining too much. Constant complaining not only wears people out, but also creates a negative environment, causing you to lose respect. We've all been there when everything seems to go wrong, and you feel the urge to complain about everything. The work is overwhelming, colleagues are uncooperative, the weather is bad, or even something as small as a minor inconvenience can make you feel frustrated. But have you ever asked yourself, does complaining actually help solve the problem, or does it just make things worse? I remember a phase in my career where I really got caught in a cycle of complaining. I was working at a large company, and my workload was getting more intense by the day. Endless meetings, decisions from higher-ups that I disagreed with, and a constant pressure to perform made me exhausted. Every time I met with colleagues or friends, I would vent about all the issues at work and complain about everything that wasn't going right. At first, everyone listened, comforted me, and empathized with my struggles. But after a while, I noticed that people started distancing themselves from me. One day, a close friend, someone I truly valued, bluntly told me, "I know you're going through a hard time, but listening to you complain all the time is really exhausting. It makes me feel negative too." At that moment, I was shocked, but I also realized that I had been hurting the people around me with my own negative attitude. Complaining didn't just make me feel worse, it also made the atmosphere around me heavy and tiring. The big lesson: complaining is never the solution. It only deepens your negative feelings and can affect those around you. Instead of complaining, look for ways to improve the situation or accept what cannot be changed. If work is overwhelming, figure out how to manage it better. If a colleague is bothering you, have a direct conversation with them instead of venting to others. To truly make a change, focus on finding solutions. When you shift your focus from just whining to actively solving the problem, you'll earn the respect of others and create a positive work environment. A positive attitude doesn't just help you overcome challenges, it also spreads positive energy to those around you. So, the next time you feel the urge to complain, ask yourself, can this be changed? If it can, take action. If not, learn to accept it and move forward. We've explored together the 4 bad habits that can harm your relationships and cause you to lose the respect of others: gossiping, being unreliable, interrupting others, and complaining too much. These habits, whether intentional or not, can create a negative environment and gradually break the connection between you and those around you. However, the important thing is recognizing these habits and making the change. When you respect others' privacy, maintain consistency in your promises, listen patiently, and focus on solutions instead of complaining, you'll build strong relationships and create a positive environment around you. This not only makes you a more trustworthy person, but also earns you more love and respect. Remember, change starts with each of us. Don't let bad habits block your path to a life full of respect and deep connections with those around you. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with others who might benefit from it. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever struggled with these habits? What do you think about how to change them? Leave a comment below the video. I'm excited to read your opinions. Join us at Wisdom Daily as we work together to develop better habits and live a life full of dignity.